les gusta que nos estemos juntando, porque todos los días vamos ganando. No quieren que los latinos anden despertando. Abre los ojos para ver lo que está pasando. No les gusta que nos estemos juntando, porque todos los días vamos ganando. No quieren que los latinos anden despertando. Abre los ojos para ver lo que está pasando. Abre los ojos y libra la mente. Pa' la verdad se mira sediente. Todos los días noticias te mienten. Políticos controlan cómo te sientes, pero no va a pasar tan fácilmente, porque muchos peleamos por nuestra gente. Un punto de vista que está diferente y lo voy a explicar más claramente. Aquí no estamos pa' las divisiones, pero los demócratas tienen otras intenciones. Nuestras ciudades andan en malas condiciones, gastando los impuestos por los 1,000 millones, sin buenas razones en otras naciones. Es tiempo de cambiar todas estas instituciones. Es tiempo de hacer unas decisiones.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back this week to Latino Free Minds podcast. This is Prime Time with your host, Gio, host, Christian. Christian, today we have an awesome guest.
Ooh.
Yeah, you excited, man?
Oh, I'm excited.
It's a big surprise. Well, it's not really because we announced it on
I got to see it in person and it was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you, if you have not seen the hardest working man in California.
Get to know him.
With Reform California. You might have seen him in the last year driving up and down in the bus that says "Vote No" on Prop 50. And right now, we're also working towards getting voter ID on the ballot. And he's got some great updates for us and some other things that we'll be talking about today. Please welcome our guest, Carl DeMaio.
Hey, gentlemen, thanks for having me on.
We appreciate you coming. How are you, Carl?
I'm here in the Sacramento swamp, so can't wait to get back to Southern California. You as bad as you think it is up here in Sacramento, it's much worse than you can imagine. It is so corrupt. It is so out of touch with reality. These Democrat politicians actually think that California is in good shape. They think everything they're doing is wonderful, and they don't understand the pain and suffering of the working class in this state. And it's very frustrating because I think we're running out of time. People are really hurting. And in order to solve these problems, we're going to need to really turn things around quickly. But you have a broken political system here in Sacramento, and that is perhaps the number one thing we have to address is the fact that our broken political system is corrupt and out of touch, and it needs to be shaken up to its core.
And that's something that you're working towards. I mentioned in the introduction that you are the hardest working man in California right now because you are literally driving everywhere and you're really working towards making a change in reforming California and cleaning that swamp out. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you're doing and what you're really working towards?
Well, I'm just the spokesperson, but the hard work is really the tens of thousands of volunteers we have up and down the state of California who are doing things like collecting signatures on the California Voter ID Initiative. We launched this October 1st and asked volunteers to see if they could get signatures from their friends, family, and neighbors. And on a shoestring budget, we were able to get hundreds of thousands of signatures literally in just a matter of a few weeks. And now we are sitting at over 1 million signatures. We're trying to get an extra 200,000 signatures so that we have an insurance policy to force voter ID onto the ballot in the November election. And that's a game changer. If we can clean up our voter rolls, if we can make sure that there's citizenship verification for anyone who votes, if we can make sure that we have identification verified for people casting ballots, it restores trust and confidence in our elections. And that's what we need to have a healthy democracy. And we don't have that right now in California. We have a lot of sloppy practices, and I would argue a lot of fraud-prone practices. And it means that people give up hope that we have a real fair election, and then they don't vote, they don't participate. We need to fix that. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican or somewhere in between, we should all agree that in an election, it's one person, one vote, and you need to eliminate any sort of fraud. In people who are not eligible should not be casting ballots. It's very simple. But somehow Democrat politicians are fighting us on this. And this is an idea whose time has come. 70% of Californians support voter ID. 70% is an amazing number. We have more Latinos that support voter ID than white voters. Latinos are 72% in support of voter ID. So the idea that it's disenfranchising voters or racist, no. The voters want voter ID. It's common sense. So that's been a big priority of ours. We're also helping with the campaign to save Prop 13 to stop tax increases. There have been tax increases applied to everything in California. It's why our cost of living is so high. The highest gas tax, the highest car tax. They even want to apply a mileage tax now. They want to
Saw that.
a mileage tax to drive your car on crappy roads. It's not like they're fixing the roads in the first place. And so sales tax, property tax, income tax, everywhere you turn, they even charge you 10 cents on a bottle of wine and 5 cents on a can of beer. And they steal the money. And they say, oh, well, we're charging 5 cents so that people recycle. Guess what? Gavin Newsom just stole the money of all the 5 cent and 10 cent charges that you get at the store. All that's been stolen to cover up the state's budget deficit. So what we're doing is we're working hard to get an activist for rebuilding California, because if we're going to take back our state, it's not going to be billionaires and millionaires to save us. It's going to be the fine working families of this state who've been screwed, absolutely screwed by both political parties. You got the Democrats with bad ideas, and you have Republicans who literally don't fight. And it's going to be the working class of this state that's going to rise up and take back our destiny. And my hope is that we can get people who are not traditional politicians to run for office. So if you're Latino and you are even vaguely interested in stepping forward and having your name considered to run for office, let me know. We want to talk to you. We want to train you, support you, mentor you, and endorse you. And I mean this cycle. So I need Latinos are our best candidates, and I just need more of them to step forward and run for office. No matter where you are, we will find a seat for you.
Right. Now, where does Prop 13 sit right now?
Well, the Democrats are trying to repeal Prop 13 at every turn. And what they're doing is they know the voters like Prop 13. So what they're doing is they're going to the California Supreme Court with different court cases, and they're slowly opening loopholes in Prop 13 to make it easier to raise taxes. The latest thing they've done is they've lowered the threshold of votes it requires to enact a special tax from 2/3 to a simple majority, which means it's easier to pass tax increases on the ballot. And mind you, when they put a tax increase on the ballot, they lie to you. They do not let you know that what you're voting on is a tax increase. They wrap it in deceptive titles. The ballot measure titles are complete horse crap, deceptive. And so Prop 13 has been chipped away, and that's why we have the highest tax burden of any state in the union. Sales taxes, property taxes, income taxes are the highest. And now they want things like the mileage tax on top of the gas tax and the car tax.
I do want to get into some of the details there, and it's interesting that you bring up the fact that the wording of how they put these initiatives out there. It's like Prop 50. A lot of people would ask us, "Well, how do I vote? Are they going to trick us like they always do? Or, well, does no really mean no, or does yes mean yes?"
The old switcheroony.
The old switcheroony.
Yeah, and that's why Reform California has been really successful in putting forward our voter guide. Every election, we get more and more people who are asking us for our plain English voter guide. And yes, we have a Spanish version. and it's plain Spanish, I guess. We just basically describe in simple terms what people are voting on, and people love it. I get stopped in the store in San Diego by Democrats who whisper, "Carl, thank you for your voter guide." And it's like they're ashamed that they're having to admit that they use it. They don't always follow the recommendations, but they at least like knowing what they're voting on. And so our voter guide not only gives a simple description of every ballot measure so people know what they're voting on, but it also contains recommendations for judges, school board candidates, city council candidates. We vet candidates to find out which are the socialists, which are the defund the police candidates, and which are good, which are common sense leaders who are going to put the people's interests first. And so and in some cases we will go after Republicans who've sold us out, because I'd rather let people know you're wasting your vote on this Republican.
Yeah.
They're voting with the Democrats.
Yeah.
And that's why some Republicans don't like us, because we criticize other Republicans
Right.
when they sell us out. I'm sorry, but we don't have enough Republicans in office. So if you're going to hold one of those seats, you damn well better deliver on what you promised.
Well, yeah, it's we need that balance, right?
Yeah.
The voter guide is so important, because like I keep going back to 50 because that to me is we pushed it so hard last year, and when we opened up that ballot, it was the wording was it. So what popped out to me was, well, if I vote yes, it's something that's going against Donald Trump in Texas. And if I vote no, I mean, who cares, right? Because everybody only sees Texas and Trump. So that's how I'm going to vote.
Let me just be quite clear. Prop 50 was a winnable fight, but we were betrayed by the California Republican Party with a lousy campaign. They got $48 million. And they said, well, Newsom had $140 million. $48 million is still
a lot of money.
A crap ton of money.
It's a lot of money.
And the consultants grifted and took a bunch of money. And some of the mailers the Republican Party sent out landed after the election was over. They arrived in mailboxes the Thursday after the election. Incompetence.
Yeah.
And so we keep getting betrayed by this professional political class that runs the Republican Party of California. And that's why I just keep saying, give up on the state party. We need to go and back good, principled grassroots candidates and engage in issue-based movements. That's why we built Reform California, is we don't trust that Republican professional political consultants and candidates are going to be the ones to save us. We've got to do this as a grassroots movement.
Yeah. And it's such a great point that you say that we just didn't have the momentum, because I talked to some of the representatives here locally in the Fresno area, and I told them, why were we getting clips from our representatives, all GOP representatives up and down the state, the week of the vote? How many people had already sent their ballots in?
Yeah.
It was a little too late.
Yep. And the overall messaging, they completely missed the boat. And that is, we needed to have explained to people why two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
Because the people who voted for Prop 50, they knew what they were doing was wrong. But they're like, well, we have to stop Trump. Well, okay, let's not argue about Trump. Let's just recognize what you're about to do is silence millions of Californians. You're rigging the election.
Exactly.
Well, Texas did it first. You know what? When I grew up, my mama taught me two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
And so what you're about to do to save democracy is you're going to destroy it.
Exactly. And that's the thing that gets me, Carl, because I see a lot of the social media influencers that come on after we lost Proposition 50. They get upset with states like Indiana that went ahead and did not go with the flow like Texas to hit back at California. And I thought, well, that's great. You want the voters to have a voice, even if it's a Democrat voice in Indiana. In California, the few Republicans, even though we have the most registered Republicans than any other state in the union, um, uh, we should have a voice, and the independents should have a voice, not just the supermajority party of California.
Yeah, when people ask me about those other states, I said my position doesn't change based on which party benefits.
Exactly.
Politicians should never be drawing the lines, period.
It's common sense.
It's common sense. And we should have taken that position early, and we should have been clear about it. But again, the Republican Party of California, they're cowards. They're afraid of their own shadow. And we just need to recognize they're not going to save us. We've got to be the ones dragging the fight out into the street. And politicians on the Republican side, they'll catch up with us. All we have to do is create the parade, and they will then run to the front of the parade and take credit. Whatever, as long as they get there at some point, because we have a lot we have to do to go up against the other side.
Very well said.
So we've got a plan. We need people though off the couch and into the fight. And where I believe that we have the most opportunity for growth is with the Latino community.
Right.
That's why we're interested in talking to Latino candidates. We need to make sure that we train, mentor, support, and endorse these candidates. And most of the candidates I talk to say, "Who, me? Am I qualified? I don't even know where to begin." Look, if you got a pulse and you're honest in your heart, you're eminently better qualified than the extreme liberal politician that's in there right now.
Right.
And Democrats are terrified by Latino candidates. And so I do believe that we need to do a better job of cultivating that leadership and that talent base. And the party hasn't done that.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I think you mentioned it earlier about the grassroots, and I think you're doing a good job because I went to when you went down to Visalia, and I was in the crowd, and I was getting all hyped, and I was getting pumped.
I
And
was so sick that day. I was exhausted.
oh
My
man,
voice was giving out. But I slept literally on the bus and
Right.
got up only to give my speeches and then went back to the bus because that was, I gotta say, 2025 was exhausting. So it was wonderful though to meet you guys out on the campaign trail. And when you said you guys had a podcast, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to come on and let's talk about what's of the interest to the Latino community. And I want to invite Latinos, get involved in the fight. We need you.
Right.
We
And
agree
I
with you.
think, you're doing a real good job because the instructions you're giving out, it's really a survival guide, so everybody can make their own, ultimately their own decision on who to vote for. And well, this guy did this and this is what he stands for. And again,
Yeah.
grassroots, and I think, like you said, the Hispanic and the Latino community, maybe they can, get us over that hill.
Because we are Latino free minds, and we represent the Latino community. I do want to bring it back to talking about voter ID and the big initiative this year, because I think if voter ID can pass, then we have a real shot at maybe turning California around. I'm not saying that there's shenaniganry going on, but we can definitely weed that out if there is. And I think that starts with voter ID. But what do you have to say to those folks that say that, when it comes to fraud, it's very rare? Things like voter ID, well, not they specifically say voter ID targets minority groups, it disenfranchises voters. What do you have to say to those people that throw those things out there?
First, minority voters disagree with you because
Get 'em.
the support for voter ID is stronger with minority non-white voters. All of the polling studies shows that. It's like these guilty liberal white voters think they know what the minority community wants, and so they are like projecting, what they think they should be voting. But Latinos are sitting there saying, "What's wrong with an ID to vote?" I mean, in Mexico, you need an ID to vote, and they use ink on your thumb to make sure that you don't vote more than once. So it's pretty common sense. Second, when you deal with the issue of fraud, Would these be the same people who say there's no fraud at the Somali daycare centers in Minnesota? I
Ooh.
mean, come on, you guys haven't even been looking for fraud.
Right.
What we do know is that we have outdated voter rolls.
What do you-
2.5 million.
What's going on in Minnesota? I'm just leering about this.
I know. You're just leering about it. Yes, all that leering won't be happening in Minnesota with the fraud. You have 2.5 million people on California voter rolls that are phony, that no longer live here, that are ineligible.
Right.
And citizenship verification is not done. Literally, the only thing we say is, do you pinky swear that you're a citizen? That's it. All you have to do is say, I am a citizen. And the state of California Democrats say, okay, that's good enough. There's no double checking. There's no verification. And then they mail out all these ballots to these outdated voter rolls. 2.5 million orphan ballots are floating around. And they say there's no fraud. We do know that in the independent audit done by the Transparency Foundation, they did detect fraud. And people who said, I didn't cast a ballot in that election, that's not my signature. There's also a wide disparity in quality checks on the signatures, and it depends upon what county you live in as to whether they do a good job. And don't get me started on the holes in the ballots that reveal certain counties. You look at the hole and you can see how someone voted.
Yeah.
It's absurd. No, this is not the way to run an election. And the way to evaluate elections are not only on the practices themselves, but the level of public trust and confidence in the process. And on that, it's probably the most stinging indictment of how California operates, in that all the polling shows that a majority of voters do have concerns about the integrity of our elections. They do think that voter fraud is a problem. Mm-hmm. And so voter ID is the way to solve that, because when you ask people, would you feel better? Would you have more trust and confidence in our election if we required voter ID? The numbers go off the charts. So I turn the table around on people who criticize voter ID.
Now, what about the people that don't have identification?
What's that?
What if you don't have identification?
Our initiative requires that anyone who requests an ID will be given a free voter card for free, no expense. But this is not a hard thing to do. I have yet to meet someone who doesn't have ID. I have yet to meet someone who does not have ID.
Same.
Yeah.
If you get a job in California, you have to present your identification. If you're driving in California, if you go buy booze in California, you need ID.
Yeah.
Well, in New York, they don't even know what computers are. So,
so how is there a plan yet on how people would get those ID cards?
No, but other states have them. And so the beautiful thing about voter ID is that other states have this system, fully implemented, and it's not a hassle. It's not suppressing votes. It's actually something that encourages and enhances voter participation.
I actually saw the results from Florida, where 70% of the registered voters came out to vote, and they have voter ID.
Yeah, and so when you have a system with more integrity, people who gave up hope and don't trust it, they come back and they participate. That's called improving access to the democracy, not suppressing the vote. And so it's the Democrats, I believe, who oppose voter ID, who are actually doing the most damage to democracy and suppressing the vote. They're suppressing the vote by creating a system where people don't have public trust and confidence. So why bother participating? No one's turned the tables on them. I plan to turn the tables on them, because the way they've run these elections is absolutely indefensible.
And we currently, we as in you, already have reached the minimum required amount of signatures to get.
Yes, but I don't trust Democrat politicians not to throw out signatures.
Why not?
So I want an insurance policy where we need to get 200,000 extra signatures. So if you want to help, if you haven't signed the initiative yet, or if you want to help, go to the website, voteridinitiative.com. voteridinitiative.com. You can print the petition and sign it and mail it in on that website, the top button, or you can request a long form to get additional signatures from friends and family just at voteridinitiative.com. And of course, if you want to be part of Reform California's efforts, go to reformcalifornia.org. And at the bottom of the website there, scroll down to the bottom, you can just sign up. The reason why we ask you to sign up is if you're signed up, you're tethered into our growing movement statewide. And when we come to your area, you'll know about our events, you'll know about our voter guide, and all the other campaigns that we're running up and down the state of California. Reformcalifornia.org.
Now, if they print it out, they can print multiple copies, right? One for each county for
Yeah,
each
but
of their friends in a different county.
Yeah, the reason why we suggest the long form is that whenever you sign the petition, you have to fill out the affidavit at the bottom, and that's like 3 inches of information you have to fill out. So the long form means that you can fit more signatures on a sheet and only fill out one affidavit at a time.
Okay.
So you can print it off and get 2 signatures per 8.5 by 11. But if you get the legal size forms that we send you, the 14-inch forms, you can get 20 signatures on those.
Nice. Now, I because of time, I do want to run it back to Prop 13
Yep.
because I am a Tesla driver,
Yeah.
and you hit me right in the sensitive area because you mentioned that they want to bring in mileage tax.
Oh yeah, so they've already implemented something like this in New York City, and it's called a congestion tax, so that every driver is paying based upon traffic and mileage. Well, here in California, they say, well, we have to hold these the electric vehicle drivers accountable for paying for the roads. Well, bitch, please, you don't fix the roads in the first place. So
Yeah, they don't.
who are you charging for what, phantom road projects? And isn't that why you have the car tax, which is paid for by EV drivers? So no. It's not to fix the roads. It's they want your money.
Yeah.
And so they have a mileage tax because their claim is EVs are not paying and that gas is becoming more fuel efficient. The reality is, gas tax revenues are up. They just want more of your money. And mileage
Right.
tax and gas tax and car tax, those are regressive taxes, sales taxes. They hurt the poor, the working families the hardest because
Tell me
people
about
who
it.
are rich, they can afford, mileage tax, gas tax, it's a rounding error. Whereas working families, being able to drive around to get to school or to get to work, that is not a luxury. That's needed for survival.
Yeah.
And so you're just the mileage tax is going to cost the average driver with 15,000 miles per year $900 in just the first year of implementation.
It's a lot of groceries.
You got to
And
think about that, voters.
$900.
Carl, the reason I bring up cars is because we are already taxed how many times for cars? We register our cars every year. There's the fuel tax there, which is supposed to offset the carbon emissions, blah, 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 for CARB. We want to have a tax for mileage. But it's not just this. They want to tax us in other areas too. So what exactly is Prop 13 for?
So Prop 13 was passed in 1978, and it basically says that the politicians have to ask the voters anytime they want to raise taxes, unless they get a 2/3 vote of the legislature. Locally, they have to get a 2/3 vote of the voters for a special tax or a 50% vote for a local unrestricted tax. They've gutted Prop 13 by lowering the 2/3 vote requirement. And a lot of the sales taxes and special property taxes that you see being implemented, mileage taxes are starting to be looked at locally, property transfer taxes. Those would now only require a 50% vote. We believe it should be a 2/3 vote because we don't want to make it easy to raise taxes. But statewide, they're looking at trying to get rid of Prop 13 entirely with a repeal, partial or whole, so that they can basically set tax rates for whatever rate they want without voter approval and it will always be a tax increase. These people have no limitation on the money that they want to steal from you. They never care about what you pay, and they're certainly not interested in caring about the money they're wasting. They just want the money so that they can line the pockets of their campaign contributors. That's really when you follow the money and you say, well, why are we building a high-speed rail train that nobody's going to use? Why are we spending $1 million per unit for homeless condos? It's intentional waste so that their campaign contributors can make money and then they give a kickback to the politician. Follow the money.
Follow the
It
money.
Who's voting
it
for
makes
this stuff?
sense. It makes sense when you follow the money.
Who's voting to pay more money?
Right back to Sacramento.
And for Scott Wiener and Nancy Pelosi, and who's voting for this stuff? Jesus.
Nancy Pelosi, we got to pass the bill to find out what's in it and then read it. I mean,
So, Carl, I know we're getting close here on time, and I want to give you a moment to tell the listeners exactly what you're doing with Reform California, how they can find you, and how they can help if they are willing to help.
And what we should watch out for, the upcoming California legislative session.
Ooh, yeah.
well, you're going to see more craziness in the legislature. But my mission right now, the first milestone is voter ID. The second milestone is to break the Democrat supermajority. And in order to do that, I only need to pick up 7 seats in the state assembly. We picked up 2 seats last cycle, and no one thought we could do it. With Latino candidates, by the way. You see the thread? You see the commonality?
Exactly.
And the most competitive seats I'm looking at right now are majority Latino seats. And this is where the working class has been screwed by Democrats. And Latinos may be registered as Democrat, but they're waking up saying, no more. I want to vote for change.
Yeah, no mas.
And so we have the ability to take back our state. What is so frustrating is that Republicans need to get their shit together in order to take back the state. You can't just keep blaming it on the liberal media or the Democrat machine. Yeah, and the day ends in Y. It's not going to be a fair fight. But if we clean up our mess on our side and get better campaigns and better candidates and work harder, we can take back this state. And so I tell people, don't flee. Don't go to another state.
Mm-mm.
You can't change the heat and humidity in Texas or the alligators and mosquitoes in Florida. In California, we got a lot of blessings. We're just cursed by our corrupt government. So why
Do it
don't
to
we stay and
ourselves.
fix that? Let's fix that.
Let's change it.
Let's change it.
Let's
And again,
reform it.
let's reform it. So that's why we have Reform California. We believe that we need a grassroots movement to do this. And so I'm just urging people, I can't do this alone. I'm a volunteer. Go to reformcalifornia.org, sign up at the bottom, and get all your friends to do that. At least then they're tethered into this growing movement that we have statewide that's picking up steam.
Yeah, and a lot of these things are just common sense, Carl. It's not like this is going to benefit Republicans. This is going to benefit the citizens of California. So I appreciate everything that you're doing, your hard work, and once again for coming on the show.
Thank you for what you guys are doing. And if the Republican Party were smart, they would be supporting your podcast because we need social media influencers to reach the Latino community. We need social media influencers in every part of the state and in every coalition group. Asians, African Americans, we need to start embracing new technology platforms. So that's why when I heard you guys had this, I said, great, let me know how I can join you. I want to support you. And I look forward to you guys growing your viewership in the coming months and years.
Thank you so
And
much. Thank you so
LFM
much.
is here to help, people win those races, when the California GOP just won't. So
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
next Wednesday, not tomorrow, but next Wednesday, January 21st, we're doing a candidate briefing at noon on Wednesday. So you can sign up for the Zoom. And I'm going to be walking through how you can file for office, how you can run for office. It's not that difficult. I just need people to say, if they're interested, raise your hand, come to the Zoom briefing next Wednesday at noon. January 21st. You can go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, click under events, and sign up for that Zoom meeting Wednesday, the 21st of January. Did I say June? January 21st at noon.
So, day after the election, we win voter ID. Does the bus transform into a party bus?
I'm taking a nap. Believe me, we'll be so exhausted.
Some Theraflu.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Christian. It's going good, man. That was awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah, Carl is he's really is working hard, man.
Yeah,
He's
man.
doing
I
some
see.
dope things. I follow him on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and the guy is like up and down the state.
Yeah, you
Like
can follow
in
that
weird
yellow
ways.
bus. That
It's
yellow
it's
bus is
it's not like he's hitting San Jose, Morgan Hill, Los Baños. He's going like he'll go up to Redding, and then he'll hit Fresno, and then he'll be in Orange County, and then the next day he's up in Monterey. The guy is when he says he's tired, I get it.
that day in Tulare or Visalia, I think is where I saw him. He was heading back towards Walnut Creek, and then he was gonna go to Sacramento after coming straight out of San Diego. Something like that. Real real crazy. So
Yeah.
that was a good question. Will it be a party bus? I think it should.
Yeah, let us borrow it, Carl. We'll go celebrate up and down the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, so yo, hey, why do things happen on Tuesday nights or
Gio.
Wednesdays?
Jill, you're gonna have to fill me in, dude, because I have not been keeping up with social media. But I peeped. I peeped yesterday, and I peeped a little bit today. What's going on in Iran? Greenland, is that ours yet? Uh,
Hey,
Maduro.
one at a time, man. Let's start with the biggest thing that
I-
people want to listen to. They want to hear our opinion on. It's the girl that ICE killed, right?
Oh my gosh, Gio. Hey, hey,
Did you
Hey.
see all the angles?
hey.
Did you see all the angles?
I did, Gio. I did.
So,
Was she getting out the way?
So
Does Black Ice have anything to do with
sent
it?
to me. Shout out to Deputy Dreamer. He sent it to me. The moment it happened, he's like, I can't believe it, man. They're giving us a bad name, law enforcement. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, I'm seeing this clip, and they shot this girl out in Minnesota. I was like, well, no way. Deputy Dreamer says, and we're looking at it, and I was like, I can't believe it. They shot her. Like, why would they do that? And then more angles start to circulate, and now we start dissecting it. And I was like, dude, I think she ran I think she ran somebody over. And he was like, what? No, send me that one. And we're looking at we see that one. He's like, dude, I think you're right. I think she did. And then the officer's footage came out, the
Yeah.
body cam, and then we were like, oh man,
Yeah.
she actually, yeah, she did run him over. And a lot of people were coming out, Christian. A lot of people came out like, well, he should have jumped out of the way. And I get it.
No.
Like personally, for me,
We all think it's like the
Hey,
movies, Gio. I don't think
no,
it's like
for me,
the
hey, Christian,
movies.
for me, if I see the car moving just a little bit, I'm jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna block a 2,000 pound
Yeah.
or however much that
Well,
car weighs.
you
3,000,
gotta go
4,000
ahead and
pounds.
remember that reaction is fast. Action is faster than the reaction, So
Yeah,
they both reacted. I'm not gonna lie. And it's
and yeah, a lot of people say, "Well, how did he? He already had the gun out." And it's like, oh, wait a minute. I do firearm training, and I see these guys at the range. People that work in law enforcement, they train to in a split second take that firearm out. Like because you cannot react slow in a life and death situation. So when I saw how fast it came out, he was holding a phone, and people were like, "Nah, see in the reflection, you see him go from the left hand to the right hand." It's like, okay, slow down, buddy.
Yeah.
That's just not how the real world works. And personally, if law enforcement is surrounding my vehicle and a law enforcement opens the door, I do not throw it in reverse, drive, neutral. I am hands up. I'm done. I'm going. I'm in.
Yeah, Gio, I think that that has a lot to do with it. Not to say I'm anybody, but if a couple of friends have asked me, what would you do? And I think we've all come to the the same the same answer, and it's pretty much if I got a cop. And, a lot of them, they're like, "Oh, they're not cops, they shouldn't even be doing that. They're just bounty hunters." They're federal agents,
Yeah.
okay? They might as well be. If I got a federal agent to my left on my door, if I got a federal agent to my right, and he's holding a gun, I don't wanna gas it even a little bit to test to see if this guy's got the itchiest finger, and if we wanna touch that a little bit, Gio,
Yeah.
that guy himself, I think he just was in a recent accident where he got dragged by
Yeah.
a car for
6
300
months ago.
yards to 300 feet.
You know
So,
what? You bring up a good point.
yeah,
I
Gio.
mean, what a dumbass. Look,
You're
I,
testing the wrong people, dude.
yeah, I look, hey, don't tune out yet. What a look, uh,
A life's a life. I understand, Gio. It's touchy. I feel
Christian,
bad for her, but
Christian.
I thought she was
If
she was
I
touching the dark arts.
No, I get it, but no. I'm talking about the ICE officer. What a
Yeah.
dumbass. Look, if I had just gotten ran over by an illegal alien, whatever, I don't care. If I just got ran over by a vehicle 6 months ago, I'll tell you what's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna stand in front of a car. I'm not gonna do it. I'm
Gio,
gonna
maybe he went, this wouldn't happen again. Or
No, here's the thing.
or this time he's saying, "Oh, dude, I dare
Here's the thing that I have.
you." She did dare.
I'm Look, Christian. I have to do this. I have to call out the ICE agents that were there.
Mhm.
Okay. First of all, the first guy, the one that got run over, when he pulled up and got out and started recording with his phone, going in circles around the car, like, what are you doing? Like intimidating? Like, what's the point of that? I get it. Like, he got the license plate. Maybe he wanted to follow up later.
But
Okay.
Gio
What are you
in
what are you doing? And then the other guy got out of the car and started running up. Like, way to de-escalate, buddy. Way to de-escalate. And he's calling her a bitch.
Oh,
Christian,
but Gio,
what?
imagine,
Christian,
imagine all day, dude. These people are blocking on you on your road.
I
They're
don't
calling you
care,
piggy.
Christian.
They're throwing donuts at you, and you're just like,
Christian, I
"Get out of
really
the
don't
car.
care. Look, Christian, I don't care.
Get
If
out of the
you're in law
car."
enforcement, Christian, if you're in law enforcement, you need to be able to handle yourself. Compose yourself. Don't call people bitches.
Well, you'd hope. You'd hope, right?
I'm just saying, like,
And
you don't need to
you
use
got
that
you gotta
language
have the other
with
person's
people.
gotta be able to tangle and be like, "Yes, officer, you are right. You're correct. Let me pull over and get out of this car. You're
Somebody needs
telling
to
me to
be
get out."
Christian. Somebody needs to be the professional. In my opinion, the person that should be the professional is the one that's being paid.
Yeah, you're never gonna get a stud to be professional.
I
You
know a
better
lot.
go get some lunch, big boy.
I guarantee a lot of people are getting upset with me for calling that out. But it's just the reality. The ICE agent is getting paid to be there. I get that it's annoying. It's a pain in the ass.
Gio, a
At times
stud.
it affect. I mean, the way that people treat ICE agents right now,
But
it's
Gio,
it's a little bit scary. I understand, but be professional.
a stud just told you to go get some lunch, big boy.
Go
It
get
ain't
some lunch,
happening.
big boy. But the guy that jumped out the car didn't hear it. The guy that was recording and stood in front of the car like an idiot,
That's crazy.
that guy composed himself well enough. He mouth shut. Up until the point that he got ran over, I thought this guy is doing like
I'm just
I
not
don't know why
moving a
you're walking
vehicle
around the
like
car.
that,
You
dude.
could just go get the license plate, you can try to do whatever, but really at that point it's de-escalation. Is the operation still going to happen at that point? Are they still going to try to go pick somebody up?
I don't know, man. But that lady, that I mean, I had guys today that can't even speak English, but they were asking me about. They gave me her name, and they're like, "Y esa morra que le tiraron en la cara," and I was like, "Who?" And they go, "Renee, Michael, whatever," and I was like, get out of here, dude." I was
Dude,
like, "Yeah,
I've
should've
seen so
gone
many
so fast."
memes. People are so fast with the memes.
People are good. The internet
Dude,
turns out it's pretty funny.
it wasn't more than an hour that I saw a picture of the George Floyd statue on the bench and her right next to it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Geo. Even the left is eating itself up because I saw a meme too. Not even a meme. It was people, backlash to the lady because again, they're trying to make this lady a martyr,
Yeah.
right? So people are going, say her name, and I'm not gonna say what race, but they're saying you can't say her name. That's for this race, not white people, not for the white devil.
I,
Hate
I
themselves,
really don't
Gio.
care what her skin color is. I don't care what her
I
sexual
kinda
orientation is.
did in the beginning, Gio. As soon as I found out it was a white lady, I mean, again, I'm not, but I went, "Whew," because if if it was a Mexican lady and a Honda Pilot, I think they really would have said her name. I think it would have been right now, they're kind of fractured in the fact that she's the white devil, you know?
Yeah.
But if it would have been a minority, I think it would have been a more of a coalition amongst.
Yo, my mind blew yesterday. Did you see the body cam footage?
Yes. I
All
don't know
right.
how they got out, but I saw it and he goes, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa."
So, um, was it yesterday? No, on Sunday night. I'm sitting down and I'm watching this clip from this blue-haired woman. I don't know if she's liberal or conservative, you know?
Gotta get your lunch, big boy.
So this blue-haired woman is
Gotta
making
get that Gio.
commentary on the video
Yeah.
and she's slowing it down and speeding it up, talking about the officer. And I noticed something in the background and I was like, "Wait a minute. What's going on in the tree line over there next to that house? There's a T-Rex, a Tyrannosaurus Rex."
I heard there was a T-Rex. I couldn't
Dude,
find it.
go back and watch the video. So I was like, "This is fake." I don't know what she's saying now. Like now, whatever she was saying out the window, I can't listen to it because she AI'd the video. She's fake. Like this whole story that she's sharing is fake.
Let me go check what
That's
Candace
not.
Owens said.
That's not even. So I was like, let's go back to the original body cam
Yeah.
footage that leaked. I went back to the original and I start watching it and I slow it down and I was like, oh my god, there's the dinosaur. The
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
the federal government released an AI video of this guy's
Yeah.
body cam footage. And I was like, this can't be. It couldn't be, right? So I made it my personal mission to find the address of where this happened. I went on Google Maps, Apple Maps, and on every street view, I did confirm there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex on that street. And there's a shark. There's a shark on that street too. So AI generated? No, debunked. Or the government got in there really fast. so
Yeah.
so think about that. Next story. Is Greenland ours or not?
I I think it's gonna be one way or another. I think the kind of the way I'm looking at it, the way it's kind of sounding, it's America's what they're really telling Denmark is
Oh,
the
shit, Christian, I'm so sorry.
yeah.
We need a moment of silence for Renee. All right, so Greenland.
Da-na-na-na. What I think they're saying is the US is at least telling Denmark, dude, sack up. You better hold it down. You better hold Greenland down because right now they're in your waters. China
Yeah.
and Russia are in your waters. So if you're not gonna lock it down, we'll lock it down, dude. Let us take the people. The people will take care of the people. They can sing their little Danish songs and believe in fairies or whatever, their Icelandic. You know, we'll take care of them, but we're gonna lock it down. It sounds like
Dude.
I've been hearing a lot of hemisphere talk, Gio. A lot of hemisphere talk, and West Side, but I we're repping hemispheres now. So
I see a lot of videos from the people, the what do they call them, the Inuits or whatever they call the people that are from Greenland. And they ask
Greenlanders.
them like, what do you want? Do you want to stay Denmark or do you want to be American? And I see both. I see, because
I see
I
both.
know people like will share. See, the people there don't even want to be part of the United
What
States.
zeitgeist are you in, Gio?
No,
What's your
there's
algorithm?
videos of people saying both,
Yeah.
so it really matters what source you're going to. Um, but here's the reality: they are in our hemisphere. When you look at the map, um,
Here in our house.
yeah,
And
and
you're the
really,
guest room.
when people go, why is Donald Trump so interested in Greenland? Well, the United States has been interested. We've actually tried to purchase Greenland 2 times before Donald Trump was the
Yeah.
president. It's always been our interest to have a part of Greenland. And NATO knows how important it is to protect it.
NATO knows.
They've been talking for like the last 10 years. They've been doing operations there to try to fortify and strengthen their response times in Greenland.
But
In case
Gio,
Russia pops off.
what is up with Denmark going? We will not hesitate to shoot Americans, soldiers, if they pull up, you know? And it's like, do you really? Gio, okay.
Shut up, dude.
let-
Do you know
dude,
what? Hey, the
no,
last time somebody threatened us.
Gio, okay. The last time, literally the last time, maybe a couple weeks ago, I'm seeing reports or I'm seeing people trick me, Gio, that our weapons over there when we touched land, when our boots touched over there in Venezuela, that we had some futuristic weapons, Gio, that we were hitting people with sound waves and making them bleed with from their nose and making them vomit profusely. That
Hey.
what kind of what? we I don't want a gun anymore, dude. I want a sound wave gun. I want
Yeah.
something that's gonna just make you bleed from your ears. Give me that, dude. Give me give me that. What are we badass or what, Jill?
Oh,
Are we kick ass?
we're
Are we
tough.
kick ass?
We're tough.
We didn't have a little congressional hearing or anything
All
about
right. All right. It's up to Latino Free Mind. It's up to prime time to decide. Does Greenland go to the US or do we leave it with Denmark?
I say we bomb Canada. I say we take over Canada.
I say it's time we expand the stars on our flag, baby.
I think it's about time we get a couple more stars.
It's been over 50 years.
Yeah. Or a couple more stripes.
You heard it here.
We're going to
You
get
heard
some
it
more
here.
colonies. We
Donald Trump,
want-
if you're watching, just go take it.
Yeah,
Go take it. Well, hey, if we can ride on the tank that takes over and plants the flag, we're riding. We're riding. We'll do the Trump dance all the way down.
I think
Did you see Trump visited Ford?
Ford. I did not.
Neither did I, but
What's going on there?
my brother sent me this video of Donald Trump walking, and he looks over and he flips somebody off, and he said he flipped off somebody at the Ford factory. Donald Trump's out there giving the middle finger, dude.
The guy.
He's dope. He does dope things.
Yeah.
So, what else we got?
Well, I don't know. I think something's going on in Iran, dude. I think people are dying over there. I'm not sure.
Dude, was
Are we
there
going
a,
to war with them
was
too?
there Iranian protest in LA on
I
Sunday?
think there is something going on in LA. Even I think like a U-Haul
Was that real?
I couldn't tell you what side the protesters on, because then you see anti-Iranian regime protesters lovers, and you're like, what? You just don't know who's on what side anymore, dude. There's just too many black squares on Facebook going BLM.
Yeah, U-Haul truck drives through Iran protest crowd in Los Angeles. One person struck and driver detained. I again, Deputy Dreamer called me up on Sunday.
Oh,
Uh, 2 times in 1 week. Thank you, Edgar. He calls me up on Sunday. He's like, "Hey, Big Doug, I'm just calling to make sure you're okay." I'm like, what are you talking about? With all this, oh man, I just saw the news from California, and I'm like, what happened? Like, was there an earthquake? Like, I mean, California's big. Like, what happened? He's like, nah, man, the protest down there in LA. And I was like, oh, the Renee stuff? Nah, you know what? Nah. Why are they using real bullets? Like his or like her girlfriend said. And he's like, no, the Iran stuff. And I was like, Iran stuff? What is this?
ain't no Iranian man do no me no harm.
Iran protests? What are you talking about, dude? Like, dude, it is Sunday. That's what are you talking about? And luckily I've been watching the PBD podcast, but I feel like it's biased because he's from Iran, right?
Oh,
So when I hear him
is
talking
he
about
pro
this in
regime?
Iran, I'm thinking like, well, this is it's great to know, it's great to be informed, but I didn't think there was going to be a protest in Los Angeles for Iran. And when I saw the video that came out, I was like, those are weird Mexican flags. Those are weird Mexican flags. And then I see this U-Haul going like real slow, and then it speeds up, and I was like, oh my God, this is not real.
I can't protest in peace anymore. I can't protest against the government. That's the other thing, Gio. I don't know if I'm on the side of protesters, dude. Even if it's like anywhere, because when I look at the protesters over here, Gio, in America, I go lame, right? I go lame.
They're not even overturning
I
the
go
government.
lame. So then,
Losers.
so then I see like some real protests in Mexico where they're just trying to get into palace and all that, and I
Dude,
go, that's that right there. Or I see Sri Lanka and I go, oh, that right there, that's sick.
hey,
Oh, they're
you know who
burning
knows how
Iran.
to protest?
That right there is sick.
You know who knows how to protest? France.
Yeah, but am I confused, Joe? Are they lame too? Are they lame? Because when I look at them in America, I go lame. So why
Lame.
wouldn't they be lame in France?
Losers.
Or are
Uh,
those real protests? They are
Look-
second world countries.
Look, personally, I think that if you want to protest here in the United States, you should be able to protest. Go do it. I don't care. Look, when I'm driving down the road here in my town, and I go down to where the mall is at, and sometimes there's protesters there, I don't care. Look, sometimes I'll honk, and usually I don't agree with them, but I'm just like, man, these guys are out here all day. The least I can do is honk so that they get a little excitement. They get a little hyped up, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for another couple hours because one person honked. Give them a little inspiration. But when I see them doing that, it's very peaceful. Sometimes it's annoying because they'll hit the crosswalk sign and they walk across the street. Very legal to walk when the white man says you can. Have you seen, have you seen that clip on? I can't remember what show it is. I think it's like Shameless or something like that. The little kid's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You got to wait for the white man to tell you to walk." It's the the crosswalk guy. He, so they do that here. They'll walk across the street, which all that means is for a red light that probably would have taken 30, 45 seconds. Now I got to wait like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it
Well,
takes time out of my day. Thanks, guys.
I'll tell you this, Joe.
But
If I
that's
don't
right.
like if I don't like it when gypsies do it, I'm not gonna like it when a protester just runs across my damn car.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
get off the paint. Get off the
Yeah.
paint. Get off my hood. I don't want your bouquet of flowers. And no, I will not hold your
that
baby.
gets to my next point is when I see these people on the freeway or blocking the way, it's like, dude, is anybody surprised that they're running people over?
Yeah.
The guy needed to move into his house.
Yeah.
You know, you only get the U-Haul truck for a few hours. You gotta get out of the
You
way.
gotta go, dude.
You gotta get out of the way. I gotta get these couches home.
He already cracked his window. He lost his deposit. You're gonna run over some people.
I look. You're gonna take this clip and it's gonna go viral. It's gonna be Gio on Latino Reminds. Yeah, he ran people over, but the guy's he's only got the U-Haul truck for a few hours. I'm
dude.
gonna run people over. I gotta get the truck back.
Yeah.
No, you know, dude, don't run people over.
Don't run people over.
I get it. It's
Rent your
scary.
U-Haul for 2
You want to
days.
get where you're going, but it's not worth somebody dying. It's really not. Unless somebody in your car is dying and it's an emergency, then
Run as many people over as you must.
hey, honk the horn, turn on the hazard lights. If they don't move, drive slow.
Yeah.
If
Shame
the-
on them if they're in front of you and you got somebody dying in your
You know
car.
what I hate is they
Gypsies?
they agitate. They don't
Mhm.
move out of the way. And then they get bumped, and then suddenly people start banging on the car. You know what's gonna happen when you bang on a car? The person inside's gonna get scared.
Yeah. And I'm gonna hit you with some dragon's breath.
And then suddenly Renee is hitting the gas and runs over an ICE agent.
Yeah.
Think about actions to consequences.
Shout out, Renee.
Consequences to action.
You got some consequences, Renee.
This is the Renee episode. No, I don't want to take anything away from Carl earlier. It's his episode, but
Yeah.
you know, we got to give the updates, man.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. It's been crazy.
Dude, it's been such an interesting week
Yeah.
with everything going on. But you know, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. Like Elon Musk is gonna make the algorithm open source X. Trump with the oil executives stands up in the middle of a meeting, dude. Okay, I don't know if you saw this, Christian, but Trump is meeting with the oil executives, talking about what's gonna happen with the oil in Venezuela.
50 million barrels of oil.
In the middle of talking with the oil executives, the
We're gonna
biggest,
keep it.
the biggest troll of them all stands up, turns around, goes to this little door with the windows, and he's like, "That's where the ballroom's being built." I'm like, "Oh my god, we gotta."
He wants you to see it's the ballroom. I think is that the one
Guys,
who's changing his name, Gio?
Intermission. Let's go in the ballroom. See how it's progressing. I saw this clip and this guy's like, if Joe Biden did this, we would all be losing our minds. And it's like, you know, there's a difference between somebody having dementia, getting up and being lost, and Donald Trump being the troll that he is, noticing that the media is there, and realizing the ballroom is right there, the one that they were talking about just a few weeks ago.
Marble floors.
And it just so happens to be ahead of schedule, the most beautiful ballroom. And I'm sure some of the donors are sitting in that room because
It's like cheapest ballrooms, but not the best. There's one of the best ballrooms.
it is going to be one of the best ballrooms, I guess.
Is that the one? Is that the room he changed his name to? Like from the Kennedy to his name? He changed something from the Kennedy to the Trump.
Well, it was
room.
the East Wing. I don't know about anything about Kennedy to Trump, but I know it was the East Wing of the White House. Probably had offices and stuff. You don't need that. You don't need it.
Okay, let's
Go build
go.
something down the street. There's a lot of space in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of grass. Go build something else. You should have a ballroom at the White House. What if
have
somebody wants to get married there?
A water slide.
Well, dude, what if J.D. Vance got a divorce because of all the media, and while he's president, he marries Erica Kirk? Is that her name, Erica?
Hey,
You gotta have a ballroom to have the wedding.
it's all-
So, hey,
you be
people are-
nice to Mrs. Vance, dude. She's a sweet lady.
Yeah.
Krishna.
You know what? She actually is pretty nice.
Hindu, but
Regardless, dude.
did you
Regardless. I wasn't even going to mention the Hindu thing, but regardless, she's
Did you
nice.
see that though, Gio? Did you see how a couple of those H-1B V1B1H visas, like, uh, there's a couple of people that got those fake degrees. They're giving out fake degrees in India and they're using those to come on over, you know? All these intelligent people that Trump loves and says we need them to do all these jobs. They're getting fake degrees.
Really?
A couple fake degrees. And they're using it to take over Lathrop and the middle of California.
I don't know anything about it, dude.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And a couple, I think, yeah, I'm just saying.
Since the last time we talked, a lot of people have been talking about the fraud in California. So
I heard Trump's coming.
I don't, I don't know what they think they're gonna find. Like, there's nothing hidden. Like to me, the fraud is just wide in the open, and we actually have several clips that were slowly dripping out. We don't do it. Look for our fans. I know you're probably like, Gio, you
Mhm.
said you were gonna drop 8 clips on the fraud in California. I can't drop them every day. You'll get bored of it. I can only talk about the money that's being stolen so much, or the failing grades of the California audit. I can only talk about it so much. But the clips are slowly dripping out. They're done. Um, so keep watching. We have clips every day. I want to give a shout out to the Wayans brothers because yesterday was the 30-year anniversary of an epic movie, Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood.
Do we have a problem?
30 years ago. 30 years ago. So,
Wow.
um, you know, in 30 years,
The
for
Wayne
30
brothers,
years of your
real?
life, yeah, don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood, or don't be a menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. And then 30 years of boring, and then here comes Latino Free Minds, prime time.
Yeah. A Wayne brother movie, and the Wayne brothers are a little defensive on P. Diddy, so it's good, just a little good thing to note there.
Hey,
Mar- young Marlon,
we're all watching.
we're all watching.
Hey, no Diddy.
No Diddy, not for me, not for you, not here.
Yeah, man. With that, Christian, with that, I think we should call it an episode, man,
Good
because
cast.
we've given a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just to remind everybody, if you have not signed the voter ID, if you have not signed for that,
Yeah.
reformcalifornia.org. Carl DeMaio is working really hard to get that to pass, and I think it should pass.
Yep. And then I think I'm not sure if you mentioned it or not, but Cardinal Mayo also has a podcast himself, Reform California, weekdays at 5 p.m. on YouTube. So
Yeah,
keep that out.
I do tune into it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Message from the producers asking when you're going to drop a clip.
I'm sorry?
The producers are harassing when you're going to drop a clip. You should report it to HR. That's just my opinion.
I might just quit.
Just report it to HR.
I might just go look at what they're doing over there at California.
California. You're going to go sign up with Lexit and
I'm gonna
California
sign
Movement?
up with California No Movement and see what movements they got going on over there. Cause that no movement stuff, that's my type of it's my type of flow.
Hey, you guys want to start a podcast over here?
Yeah. And not really do anything and kinda be on.
So- Sometimes we'll do it, sometimes we won't. And if it ends, then it ends.
Rob Lucero's, I'm only here for Silva's. Fuck you.
Let's close it out with a prayer.
Oh no, Gio. You should have warned me, brother.
Hey, it's time to talk to Jesus now.
Out your head, Rob.
Let's all get together here. Oh, Heavenly Father, we come before your throne. We thank you, Lord, for bringing us here today and being able to have all of our listeners. We ask you, Lord, to allow us to exit from this session on the podcast, never from your presence. Watch over us, protect us. And we also ask you, Lord, to be with Carl out there who's working really hard. You know, all the things that are happening here in California. And we believe that one of the ways to turn around some of the deception is with voter ID, the voter ID initiative that is being pushed by the California Reform, or Reform California. Lord, be with him, protect him, and continue to bless our listeners and help us turn California to being a little more sane, a little more, I don't want to say conservative, Lord, but, we need to take it away from the devil a little bit. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Just kidding, Rob. We love you.
Yeah, and we appreciate you watching. And we hope that our fans and our haters continue to watch and share. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's edition of Latino Free Minds Prime Time. God bless.